Hi, welcome to this demo. In this demo, let me use a real data example to show you how to using columns to build great data stories to share with your audience. So if you log into columns.ai, you should be able to visit your workspace here. And in your workspace, you can see all your data stories organized here. In this demo, let's head into the creation mode to build a new one. First step, you need to select the dataset. You can create a new dataset by clicking this new connect new data button, or you can choose any existing dataset there. In the new creation mode, you can connect any type of dataset you have, no matter you're using database, data warehouse, REST API services, or some others is not listed here. But you can always try using Google Spreadsheets and upload CSV, and that's the most common part for most of the users are familiar with. For the demo purpose, let's use an existing dataset, which is gun violence data, which records, this dataset records all the incidents happened from 2014 to 2022. Once we select the dataset, the system will load in this dataset and analyze its statistics, distributions, and generate all the templates for us. Here we can see those 5 templates get generated. One is timeline, one is US map, and scalar report, plot between 2 metrics, and column chart and pie chart, some metric. You can also use in natural language input to just type your question, let the system to understand what you're trying to find out. Before that, you may want to check out the inspect data, which actually gives you a lot more metadata to understand what data you are analyzing with. For example, you can check out the data source and its samples. This is all data samples you can see. And in the schema part, it's not only showing the field name and field type, but also statistics for them. For example, number of rows, mean value, max value, so some values for numeric values. And for strings, you may also see unique values for each string typed field. Sometimes we call them keys. And you can see we have killed and injured. Let's try an example. Let's say we want to see these 2 metrics in a timeline. How about that? Let's say we want to compare total killed and total injured in a timeline. Just by hitting the enter, it sends the command to the backend to analyze your question, and matching your dataset, it figures out you're trying to see total killed, which is the sum of the killed, translate them into this analysis for you along with the timeline. As you can see, this is the timelines we generated in the Canvas for you. It generated a title, 2 metrics, and along with the timeline. In this case, you may want to, hey, I want to customize it. Of course, you can customize metric. Let's start customizing metric first. You can customize metric by rename it. Let's still using total killed. And for this metric, I want to use in red color for it. It's red color. And I can do the next one, which is also sum on this total injured. This metrics I want to use in deep blue for that. By the way, my screen is a little bit small, so some of the dialogue is it's not displayed fully, but yeah, you got the idea. And once we customized the metric, now we can look at it into the timeline. This is special dimension because we're looking at all the metrics a long time, right? So this one gives us very clear information about we are actually didn't choose any time window, but instead let the system to automatically decide. It may be 5 days, 4 days, or or maybe months, depends on how many data points you have. But we can force that using daily, and you can see this is a daily view. If you want to see 7 days, which is weekly or monthly view, let's try using the daily view to do some forecasting. As you can see, once we choose daily, weekly, or monthly, the specific time windows, we can forecast in future. Right now, we can forecast in a percentage values, basically a percentage of data points. If we say currently it's daily, we can say choose a number such as 20% of the days of the history data points we have. As you can see, now we got the predictions, forecasting values shown here. Let's bring a little bit more data, 30%, or maybe even more for 40%, right? You adjust them, we made more predictions, and it will present it here and with you with the chart itself. Now, if we want to do some filtering, how do we do that? One of the ways, you can just add in some filters on something. For example, I can add in the filter on state. So I can choose a state and doing some forecasting. Doing some filtering. I want to choose a few states I'm interested in. So I can say Florida, Illinois, maybe California. I can type in the filter. Texas is also big. Let's just using these 4 states, and you can see the numbers going down because now we only have 4 different states we focus on. So assuming this is something we like, right? We are able to see them very clearly, and this is the questions we have. So now what we're trying to do is basically we can really go to the settings and customize this story for us. So first, I go to the settings. I see there is some other dynamic settings I can further customize, but in the general parts, I can do background. Let's see, using light blue. Not that dark. Yeah, maybe this is good. And I can adjust the space. I want to give the left side a little bit more. I want to move here this one, right? And I want to put some annotations here. Let's say like timeline of killed and injured along with forecasting. Let's move in this to the right positions we want, and maybe move here. Yeah. And for this deep, I'm actually very interested in that. So let me drop an arrow there. For the arrow, we can do arrows, styling. We can do the shadowing. I should just disable the tooltip. Okay. I can remove the shadowing, and instead I want to with a solid line. And for this case, I really want to bring somebody to talk about it, right? Let's say, assuming I can tag Tom. Is it? It is interesting to see the deep in the future. Let's check it on. So I started the conversation, assuming Tom is in my system and he will get notifications and join the conversation with me and talking about this deep. So now let's see what else I want to show you about the settings. Um, yeah, other things, I mean, you can definitely just like bring up the bottom settings, like this one. We want to make it a little bit angle, so it doesn't feel that clouded. Have more. Assuming this is the final stories we want to show, then we can just save this snapshot as one of the versions we want to show with the story. So timeline of incidents with forecasting, and we just go ahead to save it. By the way, here we can actually directly send the whole message to Slack if you connect it. In your profile, you can choose to connect your own Slack workspace channel. For this, and also this button is basically help us to get a snapshot link, so you can, without saving, you can have the capture the whole thing just like screenshot, send people to look at that. For this case, let's save it. Once we save it, we can see we have the snapshot generated here. We can keep saving multiple versions and choose which versions we want to share with people, right? So let's jump back to the the data part. Remember, we still have a few other templates generated. It might be interesting. So let's look at the map, for example. Confirm, and we have a map here. We should have an option to clear the whole annotation part, but for this case I don't need it, so I just want to close all of them and hide all my chattings for this case. And for the map, we are basically got one metric which is get queued, and by each state. We don't have any filters, and obviously we can just filter directly here. Let's say state, I want to look at how about we say not in or not equal, because I don't want to just list all the state name here. So instead we just choose two, like Michigan, Maryland. We don't want to see these two states, and let's say okay, those two states are just gone. And basically in the settings you can see there's like a mapping setting, or you can you can just like turn it on and do all the choices you have. For example, I can do showing the bubble. I don't know why this is still showing. Okay. Map, you can see different ways to display map. Let's still using the color class. And this one is interesting because it's per capita. It's actually not only showing the absolutely total numbers, but also you can very quickly one click to get the the numbers per 1 million people, which is at density index value. So if we click that, you can see the whole color actually gets shifted. Texas and California actually is not that dark anymore, because in total numbers they do, but they have a lot of populations. So this is the worst case actually is in DC. You can see here, so every 1 million people there's like 75 people got killed, I think. And also you can do color scale or change color scheme. For example, here we can change we can change any dot, so you can generate multiple color bands for you. But in these cases, we probably want to see really light color to really dark color, right? Let's say like this kind of generated the new whole color scale for you. And if we think this is something we'll feel happy about it, I mean, now we can drop in new conversations, arrows, or paste the images, or add new annotations. And don't forget that, I mean, this one is not get updated, so every time you should auto title to just get it automatically updated. And we can save this as a new version, or you can give it a new name, map of states for incident, let's say. We save this to the gallery because it's the same story, so we have two versions. And you definitely can select which versions you want to, be visible to users. Let's go back to our the gallery. In the galleries, we can, choose versions to share, or we can just share with different people. You can type in people's alias or email to notify them, or give them different permissions. Like here, I want to give this is my another email. Give it a comment. Basically permission, and I want to give it a public, and everybody can view it. So here I can copy the link, and also once we make it public, I mean we can generate a link here, so we can just directly go there. And this is the first versions we shared, and this is public to view for everybody, and for specific persons they can see the comment options as well. Comment, chat, talking about the things we have. This is the whole demo I want to show you. This is basically a journey to how to easily transform your data into a shareable story with options. Of course, you can embed these things into your own live site. And the link never change, but the content you can switch at any time, and you can configure it for different people to see them. So hopefully you get a good sense of what Columns can do, and I hope it is interest you, and visit columns.ai today and create your own account and build some great data story to share. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.